Oh, Didger says, I bet most of them are progressives. I don't think they even think that far ahead, to be honest. But I will bring that up, but I'm going to bring this back just to give a quick recap for those of you who are watching in the future on YouTube and potentially Gab, GETTR, etc. So I learned that there are people who can't pass a Turing test, so I sent out a poll asking a disturbing question. Should a Turing test be administered before someone is allowed to vote? Because some people apparently fail them. And the results are pretty stark. Granted, there's only 6 votes, but 4 of them were for yes. And yeah, my friend Newsfist sent a humorous one. Have you considered a woke version of the Voight Kampf test? Excuse me. You are in a bar, you see a white Christian man harassing a black trans woman. She is crying, but you are not helping. Why are you not helping, Leon? And I responded, yeah, I'm not administering one of those without one of these. And, of course, Tony also said, that's completely fair in my opinion. Personally, I think a harder test should be required. I think there should be a degree of civics education. CPC was ordered to not take a stance on that bill because Aaron O'Toole decided it was an issue conservatives didn't want to touch. Cowardly. Yeah, same as the abortion debate. The abortion debate is settled. Really? Because not so much. We've been discovering that late-term abortions actually do happen in Canada of late. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem for me. Well, abortion in general is a bit of a problem for me. I'm oddly still in the camp of safe, legal, and rare, with the emphasis very much on the rare. Yeah, in the case of incest, adoption. In the case of rape, adoption. In the case of danger to the mother, to the point that one or the other is guaranteed to lose their life, discussion between parents. It's really their decision. Also, I don't think it's fair that men have no input whatsoever into the abortion process when it's their child. So, yeah. Okay, so this is from Amuse. UK, a Brit posted a photo of himself holding a shotgun while on holiday in Florida. When he returned home, the UK police arrested him. No, this isn't a joke. Seized his devices, jailed him overnight for violating the 1986 Public Order Act. The process was the punishment. After sharing a photo of himself posing with a legally possessed shotgun at a Florida shooting range, a British man was arrested, locked in a cell overnight, interrogated, and lectured that he, quote, must understand how posts make people feel. Try that one on me. Ninth-month abortions are referred to Quebec, I assume you meant to say, who refer them to the USA, at least as I've heard it described. Hope it's not true, but I'm sure it is. Yeah. And with a 42% abortion rate in the UK, and I think it's, well, quite high here as well, it's clearly just another aspect of white erasure. It's another way to get rid of white people. Or, as Trudeau liked to refer to us, old stock Europeans. Though that's an incorrect classification for me. I'm an indigenous Newfoundlander. My people have been here for centuries, and there weren't any natives before we allowed the Mi'kmaq to move in here, which was a century after we settled. So yeah, by the rules that the indigenous themselves set, I am in fact First Nations. But I'll never be permitted to get a status card. Funny, isn't it? Well, technically, I'm indigenous, but not an Indian. Fair. So police seized his computer and phone, wiped out his ability to work. Weeks later, all charges were quietly dropped because they were baseless from the start. Critics say the ordeal proves the UK has turned social media into a surveillance trap where innocent people are punished by process alone. Yeah, they knew this wouldn't stick, but they charged him anyway. So the UK police arrest man over shotgun photo, seize devices, and destroy his livelihood. Jean Richelieu Booth, a booth with a gun, posted a picture of himself holding a shotgun at a Florida shooting range. He's holding the shotgun. He looks a little trepidatious, but he is holding the shotgun. Also, thank you to, I believe it was one of the guys in the fellowship that pointed out the word trepidatious. Let's see. Posted a picture of himself holding a shotgun at a Florida shooting range. UK police treated it like a crime sheen. Yeah, Charlie Crime Sheen. He was arrested, jailed overnight, warned to, quote, think about how posts make people feel. I regularly call people retarded on Twitter. I don't care how my posts make you feel. Unless I'm talking about something like abortion, where I want you to actually get mad and offended about it. Yeah. Let's see. Authorities finally dropped the baseless public order charges, confirming what critics call Britain's new rule process as punishment. Yeah. Let's see. British arrest man for posting picture holding a shotgun. First and Second Amendments are straight from English common law. No, they're not. God, please stop trying to make that assertion. The U.S. Constitution, while it might be informed by the British common law, no, it is not directly descended from it. Okay, and for our last story tonight, let's see, did I miss anything from GETTR? I did not. For our last story tonight, we're going to go with this. And this is also from X. Brace yourselves, it's Bangladesh. This is from Carl Benjamin, good old Sargon of Akkad. It's hard to believe this is real. Why do people live this way? Why don't they exercise some discipline over their own behavior? Utterly disgusting. Because, Carl, you may not believe this, you may not be aware of it, but only Western kind creates Western civilization. The rest of the world doesn't give a shit. They don't have our mores, they don't have our standards. They don't care. And the more that we import them to our countries, communities, cities, whatever, the less that our cities will look like our cities. It's unfortunate, but it's English for the English, Canada for the Canadians, America for the Americans. Bangladesh for the Bangladeshi. Let them have it. If that's the way they want to treat their environment, that's up to them. So be it. Right. Oh, I didn't realize this guy had a actual running commentary on this video. So, I'm going to have to pause this. Okay. Pause. Thank you for finally pausing. Fucking Twitter. Okay, so you guys will hear that through the mic. GETTR, do let me know if it's too low through the mic or if it's echoey. Okay, you're clearly doing that for the gram, dude. There are bridges over that thing. That's incredibly disgusting. That's offensive to my sensibilities, which, of course, points out. Yeah, and when the rainy season comes and all that washes downriver, where do you think it ends up, if not into the oceans and out into that giant fucking plastic gyre of trash out there? It's very low, but you can hear it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, like, they're not our people. Expecting them to act with the same standards is insane. And like I said, this is what is coming to the West. Yeah, that's from 4 days ago. Whites were the first to develop waste management and sanitation facilities in cities. I don't necessarily know if that's true. What else is he saying here? First to develop fresh drinking water facilities for entire cities. First to prevent littering on roads. That's, no, I'm relatively sure that's not true either. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing something in ancient Egypt that there was a punishment for simply discarding garbage in one place. And, yeah, China ceased taking Australian recycling items years ago. Maybe that's where our recycling is now being processed. Yeah, what does happen to all our waste? We used to burn it. Let's see. In my country, I'm forced to keep my mouth shut, but here I am free to talk trash about this country in hopes that I can change it to a country where I'm forced to keep my mouth shut. Yeah. Import the third world, become the third world. That's true. Yeah, now we're talking about Bangladesh, not. Oh, I didn't mean to open that. We're talking about Bangladesh here, not India. Now, this is supposedly ocean plastic waste producers. So we have the Philippines. Canada has had a diplomatic conflict. Oh, hey man, the great plastic gyre, not gyro, is our creation, boy. You let those Asians get their own achievements. I'm not saying it's not ours, at least in massive part, especially considering this is supposed to be the Philippines. Yeah. Um, Canada was shipping our garbage to the Philippines for recycling for a while. Wonder where it was ending up. Yeah. But see, as long as we were getting rid of the problem, we were no longer polluting, right? And yet we were still getting taxed for the privilege. What else have we got here? Let me blow this up a little bit. Who else are they going to blame for this? Oh, come on. Okay, let's open this in a new tab. It'd be easier. Okay, we've got India. Let's see here. Vietnam, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Malaysia, the rest of the world, Myanmar, China, Thailand, and Brazil. Um, no. See, that's not actually accurate. When the West, and Australia clearly does the same thing, as one of the comments just pointed out, when we ship our recycling over to these countries, it doesn't get recycled, it gets garbaged. They just chuck it. They take out whatever they figure they can make some sort of profit off of, and that's the end of it. It's absolutely disgusting. Garbage incinerators generate electrical for local needs. Try it, greenies. There is a country that does that. I think it's one of the Scandies. Countries that burn garbage for electricity. Sweden. Yeah. China's running out of garbage. It's because they're making it and shipping it over here, and then we use it and send it to the friggin' Philippines to be recycled. Such a gross idea. But it is Sweden is doing the recycling thing. Okay. So I believe that's everything I wanted to respond to tonight. Let me just check real fast. Anything for curiosity here? Excuse me. I've got a pile of different links that I've just never bothered to bring up. Here's something that might be interesting to some of you guys. Byrna. Byrna. They are a self-defense. How did they launcher? I believe is how they describe their product. Essentially, it's no, we don't need that. Thank you. It's essentially a self-defense BB gun or CO2 launcher, I suppose. Yeah. So let's look at their highest price item. Yeah. Someone kicks in your door and you respond holding one of these, they're probably going to think twice. And apparently this is fully legal in Canada because it's a... oh, sorry. Just realized how very badly I have mangled that screen here. Okay, so this will be the last piece of interest tonight. So, Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A. And, yeah, this is a self-defense, home defense product. It's essentially... how did they describe it here? Less lethal pistols and rifles, ammo, CO2, Banshee safety alarm, which I'm going to guess is something along the lines of it's basically just a rape whistle that you can wear. Live safe mantra. We are excited to introduce a military-grade 130 decibel personal safety alarm. At 130 decibels, I'm pretty sure that hurts people. 130 decibel. How loud is 130 decibels? Now, obviously, the point is it should hurt. Let's see. Is it safe for hearing? Let's see. 130 is a jackhammer. So it's considered extremely loud. It doesn't, I will point out, it doesn't say how far away you are from the jackhammer. I'm going to assume operating it, but that doesn't really make sense. How long can you listen to it? You cannot listen to 130 decibel sounds for even a few seconds without wearing hearing protection if you are standing right next to the sound source. However, if you distance yourself, its intensity will decrease the further you are from it, the safer you will be. Yeah, so you're going to light that thing off. This is the oral equivalent of "That'll hurt your ears in a damned hurry," says Didger. Louder than a jet engine, yeah. You're going to light this thing off, basically probably on your hip or in your hand. And, yeah, this is the oral equivalent of pepper spray. And if you guys aren't aware, I hate pepper spray. I hate the concept of pepper spray. I hate the idea that people who've never used a weapon should be allowed to handle pepper spray. Pepper spray is an area effect weapon. It is not specific. It's got splash damage. When I was working as a bouncer, there was a guy who thought it would be a good idea to light off a chemical weapon. Like, actually, I think in this case it was bear mace. But same idea. It thought it would be a good idea to defend himself with that because some big dude was going to kick his ass, probably because of something he'd brought on himself, and thought it was a good idea in a crowded dance floor to go in the guy's face. As far as I'm aware, the guy was nimble enough to dodge, at least partly, which probably spread the stream quite significantly, but all I know is I was a good 30 feet away, 40 feet away, and immediately started coughing. And then I had to wrestle two people who were coated in bear mace out the door. I was not happy. Especially considering one of them was trying to beat the face off the other. Yeah. And the other one was trying to get his friggin' bear mace out again. Possible permanent hearing loss in seconds without protection. If you're using it, you're not wearing PPE. Not sure this is a good idea. Yeah, it's not. No. There are other products. We'll have a look at the less lethal pistols first. There are other products. There's a degree of splash damage to this as well, because if I recall correctly, some of them are pepper balls, which I'm not sure are legal in Canada. Let's see. Are pepper ball launchers legal in Canada? Pepper ball defense launcher. Canada. Apparently, yes. Okay, and this is Berna talking about why owning Berna is a better idea than a pepper ball gun. And to be fair, I don't like pepper ball guns much more than I like pepper spray. So, why owning a Berna instead of a pepper ball gun is the smart choice for Canadians. When it comes to self-defense options in Canada, legal and effective tools are limited. Yes, they are. And if you are unable to acquire a legal tool that is effective enough for your situation, I cannot counsel you that it is a good idea to acquire an illegal one, but if you're defending your family, I am firmly of the belief that there should be no holds barred. You kick in my door, you have decided that your life no longer matters nearly as much as my reaction to what you just did. Didn't they use them on the Freedom Convoy protesters? No, that was 40 Mike beanbags. The cops don't need to concern themselves with whether or not what they're holding is legal. It's legal because they're cops. Yeah, and it would have been beanbags, 40 millimeter beanbags, because that also fits the tear gas launcher. So, when it comes to self-defense options in Canada, legal and effective tools are limited. Many Canadians are exploring less lethal defense systems. Two popular options are the Berna launcher and the traditional pepper ball gun. While both appear similar, there are crucial differences, especially from a legal, practical, and safety perspective in Canada. Berna's launchers are designed with Canadian law in mind. Pepper ball guns were originally developed for military and law enforcement use, and many models exceed the 500 FPS threshold. Oh, okay, so that's another issue as well. If you have a pepper ball gun, it may exceed 500 FPS, which means you need a license. You need a firearms permit to hold it, which also means you probably can't take it outside legally. Let's see. Threshold that can classify them as firearms under Canadian law. Owning or using these in Canada, especially without a valid possession and acquisition license, can get you into serious trouble. By contrast, Byrna launchers are specifically configured to stay below Canadian velocity limits, which means most models do not require a PAL and are not classified as firearms. That makes them a safer, more acceptable option for everyday Canadians looking for legal self-defense tools. Now, I will point this out repeatedly. The way Canadian law is written, if you carry any item out of your house, even if it's something as small as this little tiny knife, which is only 3 inches. Hang on. And yeah, I know, bougie, right? It's a snap-on knife, and I'm using a Milwaukee tiny. Yeah, it's 2 3/4 is the blade, inches. I'm using a Milwaukee tape measure and a snap-on pocket knife. Both of which are things that were given to me or I bought super cheap. I'm not that bougie. But the issue is that if you take anything out of your house specifically, and this is where the issue comes in, if you are stopped by a police officer and asked, and you respond, I am carrying it for self-defense, it means that you are potentially opening yourself up. Such dainty items you have. I know, right? Well, you know, when you have a palm the size of mine, this thing is like 1.5 inches across, so on the upside, that's 4 inches. But, yeah, no, well, roughly. But if you take anything outside and tell a police officer you're carrying it specifically for the intent to defend yourself, you are potentially opening yourself up to being charged with any number of things. Carrying a concealed weapon, carrying an item for a purpose dangerous to the public, carrying with intent. Any of these are potential charges that you could face for that. Which is absolutely retarded, but it is what it is. Yeah. The cops in Canada don't care. They're not there to protect you. They're there to maintain the rule of law. Whose law? Well, it's not a law that serves us anymore that much, is it? So anyway, moving along. While pepperball guns typically fire chemical irritants like capsaicin, pepper, Byrna offers a more controlled range of ammunition, kinetic and eco-kinetic projectiles. Yes, because if there's anything I want, it's the friggin' slingshot ball, which is basically what these are. The slingshot ball that hits my my attacker, I want it to be eco-friendly. Personally, I wouldn't care if it was filled with seeds and punched a hole in them so they grow flowers when they're dead. You know, that's my point. Making them ideal for civilian use and property protection. Why does that matter? Chemical irritants can fall under prohibited weapon regulations. So they're calling it a kinetic launcher. You avoid legal ambiguity while gaining access to a powerful deterrent that can stop an attacker or intruder without causing permanent harm. Again, we go back to the issue of, let me just, oops, no, this one. There we go. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Didger had said, no. You're right, yeah, that alarm would be louder than a jet engine. Unlike many pepperball guns originally engineered for riot control or tactical police work, built with civilian safety and usability. Ergonomic design, easy reload, lightweight and durable. Can I smack a guy in the forehead with it? Can I pistol whip somebody with your launcher is what I'm asking, Byrna. And they say it provides the Byrna SD Canada kit is ideal for homeowners, travelers, and remote workers. No, it's not. See right there, travelers and remote workers. It's really not. I assume by defense you intend this to be for people, not say bears. So this is their kit that they're talking about here. The SD Canada kit, patented first shot pull pierce technology. CO2 not punctured until first shot. Oh, that's cool. Up to 300 feet per second average projectile speed. The good thing about that is actually that's really good, because that means you can put that in a checked bag, unloaded, essentially uncharged, even though you have the ability to put the CO2 cartridge cylinder into the item and have it ready if you need it. So, yeah, okay, the readiness is there, but since that CO2 cylinder doesn't get punctured until you pull the trigger the first time, you don't have to worry about wasting it by, say, practicing 2 or 3 shots and then traveling and having to remove the CO2 when you. Then again, don't think you can get CO2 cartridges on a plane legally anyway. I would like a kinetic launcher. Yeah, they're not super super expensive from what I recall. We'll have a look at their products here. Go back to this. So the SD is. I take it back. It's extremely expensive. Now, to be fair, yeah, no, that's comparable to a handgun. At work, we have a large shop compressor in a concrete room. I have a decibel reader, and I set it 6 feet away when I purged one of the airlines of moisture. Reader taps out at 125. Ooh, that's not good. And it tapped out. Yeah. Uh, yeah, and concrete rooms are horrible for resonance. Uh, so it just talks about the various 17 shots, 22 shots, 60 feet range, pistol size, mid-sized and compact. Yeah, for a compact pistol in the States, $430 is, it's not bottom of the barrel, because, I mean, high points are super cheap, but yeah, that's the same price you'd pay for a handgun in the States. That's a bit much. That's going to be a real restrictive point for a lot of people there, especially when it goes up to 510 for the LE Canada kit, which looks almost the same, but it's basically just a slightly more powerful launcher. Reviews. Ooh, no reviews. Reviews. Okay. Actually, before we do that, I want to have a look at the rifles. The rifle version. See, they're more reasonably priced, though they shouldn't call them rifles. They should probably call them carbines. And the effective range is the same for the lowest one. 100 feet's not bad. I don't think you're going to do much to a bear with that, though. Mission 4. So that's the single most expensive product they have. Let's see here. Sort by price. Oops. No, that's filter, not sort. Sort is over here. So the most expensive item they have is the Mission 4 kit, which we were just looking at. Home defense. At least they're sensible enough to say home defense here, which is exactly what it is. You wouldn't. Website said 22,000 5-star reviews, if that helps. Okay. Let's see. I'll open that in another window and just check the reviews here. So we have SD reviews. There's no reviews on this. This is really weird. There's a blog. Didger, can you throw in that the link where you saw that, if you wouldn't mind? If you can. This is very weird. Performance. Yeah. Documents. Choose add-ons. Ooh, add-ons. I like add-ons. It is a nice looking item as well. I mean, if I had the money, I probably would pick one up, but people love us. Read reviews. And there's no reviews. This is, yeah, that's very odd. Left unsaid, 75,000 1-star. Ooh. And it is on Burna.ca. Okay. Designed to stop, not kill. Less lethal, legal in all 10 provinces. What about the 3 territories? No background check, ships directly to your door. 300 plus law enforcement agencies use Burna. Okay. As seen on MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, Newsmax. Less lethal launchers. Proven self-defense. Chose Burna. Doesn't leave home without. Yeah, see, this is the problem. If you're in Canada, you can't carry these. You cannot carry these. Oregon, Special Forces vet. Yeah. Anything here about Glenn Beck at the Burna factory? How burner launchers work. Sean Hannity. Frequently asked questions. Do I need permits, background checks? Are they considered to be firearms in Canada? Yes. Very weird. Any reviews here? That was a joke, bro. Get the Tan SD Canada kit. Let's see what it looks like in tan. Probably looks a bit like Coyote or something. I'm not seeing a tan one. Oh, there's a US website as well. Nope. Oh, it keeps taking me back to Canada. Let's try Burna.com and see if I can force it to take me there. Oh, okay. Oh, I like the black one, but that's me. Yeah, the tan one's not bad looking. I would be very shocked if the tan or black are available in Canada. They want them to not look like firearms too, so. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Grab that from my Rumble. Copy link. Back over here. I'm getting bogged down in this now, but this is going to be the last thing I look at today. Does it actually come in tan? Oh, it does. Choose your color. Look at that. Oh, it does come in black. I think personally the black would be more imposing, but that's me. Definitely, I would avoid orange if given the option. Yeah, that gives it even more of a more handgun looking aesthetic to it. So yeah, that's probably a good choice as well. I don't think I'd go for that though. Let's let me see. Can I try tan again and find it? Let's try that mission kit. I want to see if that comes in tan. Honestly, if I'm going to go for one, I'm going to go for something like this. Let's see. Okay. Rifles. Mission 4. Don't think you get the option of color on that one. But that one's got so much black on it, I'm not really worried. Yeah, $700 US. What is that in Canadian right now? It's probably over 1,000. Oof. It's basically 1,000. Well, I mean, if we were in the States and talking about ARs, it would be a different story, but yeah. Okay. The orange doesn't bother me too much. I wouldn't say no to it. I mean, if that's all I could get, that's what I would go with. But I have strong suspicion that I would rapidly end up customizing that, finding a different color barrel, things of that nature. I mean, I have no intention of taking the thing outdoors, so I wouldn't have to worry that if a police officer was responding, that he might shoot me for carrying something that didn't have an obvious orange barrel on it. Excuse me. Other than that, yeah, I think. Oh crap! It's already midnight. Well, I did start this at 11, so I will, in fact, game for half an hour or so at least. I'll get that open now. Bring over to here. Oh, I do have a new vid cover that I'm going to start using because I think it's funny. And I came across something called Burger Jarl earlier today, so we're going to go with this one for the cover. Doesn't bother me too much. I wouldn't say no to it. Not me. I'd match my cell phone case. You know, I'm perfectly content to be whimsically, colorfully weird. I don't care if it matches. Not at all. Let me see. Did I actually manage to get that open or not? Okay, there it is. Okay, and I'm going to switch off the mic and put on my headset. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who were here just for the news stories, obviously I'm done with news, and I'm going to play a game for a while. So, have a good night. I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. And as always, rise and rise again until last become lions. Good night. Now, that's the end of our recording.